What's up, guys? So I'm actually sick this morning. Throat is killing me. Got a headache, mild fever. I think I caught RSV from my son. But yeah, DMPI is pushing up really nicely. If you guys, the Power Hour stream, this is the one I picked to hold overnight, and it's a great example of that. That swing trading strategy I like to use when it has no volume throughout most of the day and then gets a late day push like this with some volume. Yeah, good call out, Dave. Nice trade, Kevin. Yeah, I'm just kind of bummed out I don't have a broker where I can sell in after hours or pre-market and take advantage of this 140 area. I mean, I'm still up 25 cents in a stock that I bought under $1, and so it's a really great gain. It's like at least a 25% gain, a little bit more than 25%, but it is what it is. Missed out on it. I definitely need a broker where I could sell in after hours or pre-market. Good morning, Marwan. I was also thinking about PTN yesterday. It pushed up too. It's up to 102. EKSO is moving. It's at 449. VLRX is at $6 even. Another big mover is CLNT. It's up to 974, so a crazy move with that one. I'll go ahead and add my watch list to the chat. Alright, so these are all the stocks I'm watching. Like I said, I'm a little sick this morning. Not the best feeling, so. But yeah, guys, if DMPI ends up dropping under $1 before the open, I'm gonna, that's when I'm gonna officially take all of my money out of Robinhood and put my money into a different broker, maybe SureTrader or maybe somewhere like that where I can trade. Because this is just, each time I call out a swing trade, it shoots up, Like one of them was DMPI that I called out in Power Hour stream. Another one I called out in Power Hour stream. I didn't necessarily call these out. Like other people told me about these that were moving, but these are the ones that I bought, and using that strategy. And so RLOG was one. You can see RLOG, not this date, but the day I bought it. Let me see. They have to go back a little bit more. Okay, here it is. You see the day I bought it, it pushed all the way up to 119. And I got into it at 74, 75, and so then it gave all of it back, and so I needed a broker where I could sell in after hours or pre-market. And my CT did the same thing. Went up to 130 before it dropped. I could have taken advantage of that one as well. And so I need a broker where I could sell in after hours or pre-market, guys, because this isn't working. If I had a broker where I could sell it after hours and pre-market, I could, I'm pretty confident I could build that account up a decent amount. Because with this, possibly Mark, but here's the thing. I don't want to deposit two grand into a swing trading account. Like, I still want to keep it. Like, if I deposit anything, I'll just make it 1,000. But I don't want to put that much money into a swing trading account. And here's the thing, like I've traded other brokers like Thinkorswim. It's really tough to get filled in after hours or pre-market. Um, a lot of the brokers, it's tough to get filled. I know for a fact that SureTrader fills you really nicely in after hours or pre-market. I remember getting into a few trades in after hours and pre-market on SureTrader, and you get filled instantly in decent fills. And so if I went to a swing trade broker where I wanted to mainly just focus on after hours and pre-market, it would most likely be SureTrader. Just because they have such great fills, either SureTrader or what is it, Speed Trader, their affiliate group. One of those is which one I would pick, just because they have really nice fills. I don't have to worry about not getting filled and sitting there and waiting like in Thinkorswim. You know, I know you get filled almost immediately on SureTrader when you're selling in after hours and pre-market. And so that's ultimately what I want, because if you think about the last few power hour streams, I've had basically 100% accuracy, except for the fact that I can't sell in after hours and pre-market. And so, yeah, by the next morning, a lot of times it will have dropped all the way back down to where I entered it at, but it doesn't take away the fact that it pushed up 30%, you know, and I could have sold at the top, or I could have sold somewhere around the top. I'm not saying I would actually catch it at the top each time, but I could sell around there, make a 30% gain, and continue to build my account up, because I basically had 100% accuracy with swing trades. I just haven't been able to take advantage of it because I can't sell it after hours or pre-market. And so that's the frustrating part. And I mean, on this one, I'm still up, over 10%, a little bit over 10% now, maybe 15% now, but it's not the big, you know, I could have sold it this morning at 130 and made a, you know, 30-40% gain on this trade. And so, you know, yeah, it's pretty disappointing, pretty frustrating. I need a broker where I could sell in after hours and pre-market. Yeah, Dave, but what are the feels like? I mean, I want to trade past 6 p.m. though. I want to trade full after hours and pre-market, you know, because I mean, I'm probably still gonna make a little bit of money. I doubt this one will drop all the way down, but if it does, I mean, that's my cue to like stop swing trading like this. And if I swing trade, I need to get a broker where I could sell in after hours or pre-market, you know, because I mean, obviously that pattern that I go over works. You know, no volume throughout most of the day, late day volume spike, closing really strong, breaking over the previous high. Like, it obviously works. This thing went all the way up to 140. You know, that's a over 45% gain overnight, and I couldn't take advantage of it. And so hopefully it rebounds. Sorry if I feel if I sound a little congested, guys. I'm sick this morning. I'm pretty sure I have RSV. I caught it from my son. I've been taking care of him a lot, and so he's had it. Right, Dave. You only need 500 with SureTrader to use their margin. Overnight, you can only use 2-to-1 margin. So I know they offer 6-to-1, but you can't use that overnight. You can only use 2-to-1 margin. So if I deposited, 500 or 1,000, I would get $2,000 buying power on SureTrader, which would be fine, you know. But I gotta figure something out. Just because my swing trades have been going great, like I've been correct on almost every one I've gone over in my power hour stream. Like DMPI, RLOG, MICT, they all went up right after they all went up a few, 10 or 20%. This one went up 45%. But I just couldn't take advantage of them. I can't sell, and so I have to hold it until the open. And by that time, here's the thing: like, people that are holding these stocks, eventually they're gonna start, as it continues to drop, people are gonna start taking profits more and more, and it's ultimately gonna squeeze out a lot of the longs. It's just gonna start dropping the stock this morning, and so there's still gonna be some people that try to go long and everything, but it's gonna start to squeeze if people start to sell. And I need to be able to take advantage of the big push it makes before it washes out. Yeah, 6-to-1 is kind of ridiculous. Appreciate it, Steven. Yeah, E-Trade's good. Yeah, I mean DMPI is up. It's at 113 now. I'm up 23% or something like that. Maybe a little bit more than 23%. Um, maybe a little bit less. I'm sorry, than 23%. But you know, I mean it's a good gain. I'm happy with it. But I would much prefer 40% or 45%. You know, like it got all the way up here. That's a 45% gain. You know. And it, you know, it shows you how powerful that setup is. I don't know why it works. I have a theory on why it works. You know, this setup right here where it has no volume and then has a late day volume spike, closes really strong. You know, my theory is that insiders know something that we don't, and so they start buying it early so they don't have to buy it in after hours and pre-market. Then it gets pumped up from those same insiders that work for the company. And then whenever they're done and they can ride the big push up, they end up selling off. That's just my theory, you know. And the same reason why it pushes up so nicely is the same reason it washes out, because when those insiders start selling, you know, it's going to continue to drop. That's just my theory on why this one works. But, you know, it's almost the same pattern. Yeah, every one, DMPI, it looks the same. RLOG that day. You can see almost the same pattern. No volume, late day volume spike. Steven, I mean, I just look for stocks that are moving. I don't necessarily have like a particular way that I scan for it. I just look at stocks that are making a late day push, see what everybody else is watching, and then see if it fits that description, you know. And if it does, you know, I buy it. If it doesn't, you know, I stay out of it. What I've noticed though is mostly a you know, usually it won't continue to push up. Like, for example, it won't do what CLNT did overnight, because CLNT most likely was just a news alert. Yeah, CLNT was most likely just good news on CLNT, because you can see it had no it had no follow up. It had no, it doesn't let you see that it's going to do that. It doesn't have any like indicator like this. It didn't have an indicator. It just started to push up in after hours, which is mostly from a news story. And so DMPI is, I mean, it's from good news yesterday before the market closed. I think this one had good results, but it has this indicator, so I can see this late day volume spike, this strength that broke over that previous high right before the close right here. You know, right before the close, it broke over that previous high and closed really strong. And so that's what I look for with swing trades. I know I made a video on that called Analyzing Strength and Volume in Swing Trades. And, you know, this is exactly what it was about, basically. Good morning, Michael. But man, really nice push on CLNT. This one is up a ridiculous amount. I wonder what news catalyst is causing this huge push up. Look at this. I didn't even realize how much it was up from. This thing closed yesterday at 445. It's up almost 300%. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to get a scanner. Like, it obviously works really well, you know. And I'm not trying to say, yay, my swing trading strategy works, but I mean, I've just had good accuracy with it. You know, DMPI did this exactly like I wanted it to. I mean, it may drop, but like I said in my video, regardless of whether it drops or not, like, I was correct. You know, like, my trade idea was a decent one, you know, and it pushed up 45% in pre-market. And so it's like, I just need a broker where I can take advantage of that push quicker. Like, you know, a broker where I can sell in after hours or pre-market. Like, that's ultimately where I need to go from here, because my swing trades have been doing really well. You know, I think the last three that I called out were DMPI, you know, and this one just pushed up 45%. RLOG. And on this day, this one pushed up. This is the day I called it out right here at 96 cents. It pushed all the way up to 120, and so that's like a 25% gain as well. And then MICT is probably the worst one out of the bunch, but it did go up to 130 that day during after hours. And so, you know, if I had a broker, I could sell when it starts to drop, and you know, as soon as I'm down on the trade, just a small amount, I would just get out of it, you know. But I've been having decent success, and so I just need a broker where I can take advantage of it now. You know, because it's really going to be frustrating if this thing drops all the way back down, you know. Like, I want to see this one continue to push up. And, I mean, it's back up to 114, but when I saw it this morning, it was at 119. You know, it got all the way up to 140, so. BZ. EKSO is washing out, guys. It's coming back down. There's that DMPI. You're talking about CLNT, huh? Yep. I see. So Clean Tech is acquiring a they're acquiring Vantage Ultimate Limited conditional share swap deal to buy 51% interest in Marvel's issued share capital of IMT valued at $13.482 million. So that's good news. I don't know if it's enough news to warrant a triple in price, and I'm sure CLNT will most likely end up washing out here. But, you know, really nice push. MCBC. Yeah, it had a nice push yesterday. Never followed through. Held about half of the push. Pushed up a little bit before close. Watch it over 277. Although it needs more volume, it's not moving that much at all. You know, now my decision is just basically whether to hold DMPI and see if DMPI can start to push up more at the open or sell as soon as the open hits. I'll probably go the route of just selling as soon as the open hits. I don't want to give back any of my profits on this one because my ultimate goal was to build that Robinhood account up, and I built it up really nicely, but I still need it. I just need to switch and get a broker where I could sell in after hours and pre-market. If you said E-Trade is good for executing orders in after hours and pre-market, I may give it a try just because I would prefer not to have my money in an overseas broker if I can, just because, I mean, I'm not going to be day trading. I don't need an overseas broker. I just want to swing trade with that money, and I would actually prefer it to not allow me to day trade because I don't want to overtrade on my swing trade account. I just want to keep it strictly for swing trading and overnight holds and after hours and pre-market plays. And so we'll see which one I go with. OSUR. Yeah, OSUR had a late day push as well, except this one wasn't really, I mean, this one was a little bit earlier than that. This one was at, yeah, this one was at 12:30. I like the push to be during power hour. I mean, it's gapping up some technically. It's at 1674. It closed at 1655, but not as big as I wanted to. Yeah, Dave. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I use SureTrader. I tested a withdrawal and everything from them. Like, I was very careful before I picked it. Like, I put my money into SureTrader and then I withdrew a partial sum of that money. And so they gave me my money back. Like, withdrawals work. It's not like they're just gonna keep your money. But I would still prefer not to have one in an overseas broker unless I really absolutely need to. And so I'll probably check out E-Trade just to see. It all depends on the commissions and, you know, what they, how well they fill me in after hours or pre-market. You know, because I know Thinkorswim doesn't have great fills in after hours or pre-market. You know, a lot of times your order will just sit there. And so it's a little bit better. But yeah, it's super frustrating to watch DMPI drop like this. I mean, I was just up such a big amount, and then now I'm down to, you know, I bought 100 shares. And so now I'm down to $16, you know. $16 or $17 for my 94-cent entrance. And so, you know, I mean, it's a good trade, don't get me wrong. It's a big percentage gain, and you know, it's a nice trade for per what I actually invested into the trade, which was only $94. You know, I invested 94, I made 17, 18, so a big percentage gain. But you know, it's frustrating to see it go all the way up to 140, you know, and then not take advantage of it. Because TD Ameritrade, it's tough getting fills in after hours or pre-market with TD Ameritrade. I've tried to trade in after hours or pre-market and to get in stocks that are moving then, and it's just really tough to get filled, at least in my experience. You know, like your order will just sit there a lot of the time. Whereas I know SureTrader, you get filled almost instantly if you're in after hours or pre-market. They have really good fills there. And Thinkorswim, you know, sometimes your order will just sit there and you won't get filled. And so, you know, I'll think about it. You know, I like trading on Thinkorswim. Although Thinkorswim, it's great and everything, but I actually still do not know how to set a stop loss on Thinkorswim. You know, it's too complicated. They make it too complicated to set a stop loss on here. You know. It's like they don't call it a stop loss either because it's like against the rules to call it that or something, and so it's just a pain. They call it a OCO order or something like that, or a I can't remember what they call it. But yeah, I mean, when this one started to push up, DMPI, you know, I was thinking I need to start trying to find a scanner that can catch this pattern right here, because I mean, it's a pretty profitable pattern. You know, I don't know if anybody else necessarily uses it. I know other people teach, you know, buy or teach that if it's strong at the close, it's a good swing trade. But you know, I don't know if anybody necessarily teaches the whole. I'm sure I'll probably get a bunch of copiers off of me, but trying to teach this after I teach it. But no volume throughout most of the day, and then get a late day volume spike, you know, so it's a good pattern and it's profitable. I just need to get a broker where I could sell now and take advantage of it when it's up here instead of down here when everybody else sells. Yeah, stop, limit sell. Thinkorswim's just tough. I still don't know how to use it. NURO. Yeah, I do like NURO. But man, I feel horrible. Ugh. I'm pretty sure I have RSV for my son. Sucks pretty bad. Yeah, it's a trigger, is what they call it, with bracket for stop loss. Yeah, DMPI is back to 115. I mean, I'm already up. Right now I'm up 21 cents, which is a really nice swing trade, especially for a stock that was under $1. But I just want more out of that big push. You know what I mean? And I'm sure if I do that, I'm going to start selling a little bit earlier if I do get a broker where I could sell it after hours of pre-market. But this is just the second time this has happened to me in a week. It happened with me on DMPI, and it happened to me on RLOG. The same exact thing, except it was much worse with RLOG. It ended up giving that entire big push back, you know. This is one I called out in Power Hour stream. So in our Power Hour stream, this is the one I decided to jump into. And it went all the way up to 119, really nice push, and then all the way back down. And so that's what, initially had me to, made me start thinking about switching to a broker where I could sell in after hours and pre-market. But, it's my Robinhood account's so small. If I do put money into another broker, I'm going to have to add some money to my account, maybe make it like $1,000 instead of the 300 something it's at right now. And so we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, DMPI did have news. It was good results, which is good, But yeah, my theory on why it works, Ali, is that people buy. I mean, here's the thing: like either insiders know it's going to push up, or they're going to pump it up, or insiders buy it a little bit early before the news story comes out, or whatever it is. But regardless of what regardless of whether it had news or not, it's that really nice pattern, a really good example of what I look for with swing trades. And if it has news, that's just a plus, because that means it's not just going strictly off of, technical analysis or resistance breaks or momentum, that it's actually got a catalyst to it, which is which is good. I'd rather it have a catalyst than not have a catalyst with that pattern. What do you mean by that, Kevin? I don't understand that. CLNT's pushing up nicely. Good call on NURO. Can't remember who called this one out, but it's starting to push up with some volume. Looks like it has good news. Either that or it's a pump. We'll see. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. Appreciate it, Dave. I remember you told me that the other day. I told my wife, I was like, hey, somebody from my stream is a paramedic, and he said to use honey. But I couldn't remember the other thing you said. I know you said honey, ginger and honey. I know you said honey and something else. And my wife actually wrote me a note to ask you questions, Dave. Whenever my son had RSV. I think I read it to you the other day, but it literally says on the piece of paper, it's next to the computer, she left it here for me, it says, questions for EMT guy. When he says albuterol is toxic, what does he mean exactly? Toxic in what way? What does he think of QVAR, quote unquote, inhaler? Or parentheses, close parentheses, inhaler. Beclomethasone, dipropionate. HFA inhalation aerosol 40 milligrams. That's the note she wrote for you specifically, Dave. Moms are funny. True. I mean, here's the thing. When a stock pushes up like this, that's what the strength and volume is all about. That's why in that video I went over strength and volume, because it needs volume to kind of have that momentum. It squeezes out shorts, and it has that momentum to continue pushing up. And so when it shows strength right here, when it breaks over this previous high, like you can see this one broke over this previous high right before the close. Right before it closed, it broke over this previous high at 95 cents. And so when that happens, everybody starts to watch it because it closed really strong. Everybody else is looking for it to close really strong, and then that just makes it push up even more and more, and then the momentum builds and it just shoots up, And so that's ultimately what I look for, and that's why I think having no volume throughout most of the day is a good thing, because, there's no shorts caught into the trade. There's no, other people like that. And so, I think it's ultimately a good thing that it has no volume and then has this really nice volume spike, if all that makes sense, DMPI did have news. Ali, SGBL. Check Thinkorswim, man. That's what showed me the news. SBGL. Yeah, SBGL looks nice as well. But yeah, Ali, I use Thinkorswim for my news releases. That's usually what, if you don't know how to do it, I have a video on how to get Benzinga news on your Thinkorswim account. And so you can either go to that and they'll kind of give you the live update, or you can just type in CLNT above your watch list where it says live news, and it shows you it had news releases. Let me see. Oh, not CLNT, I'm sorry, DMPI had news yesterday. Yeah, it had news at 3:06. So at 3:06 is when that news release came out. And so right as soon as power hour, and that's why I look for these swing trades during power hour. And so, but yeah, it's a positive stage. Let me see. Positive interim results from VAL 083 study in MGMT. NXTD. Yeah, NXT is gapping up some. Let's see how it moved these last few days. Yeah, I like NXTD. Very small gap up, but a lot of times the ones that run the most at the open are these really cheap ones that aren't gapped up too much because they're not overextended like all the other ones. And so stocks that only have this little tiny gap, sometimes those will run in a big way too. So we'll keep an eye on this one as well. ELTK. I mean, the only thing about ELTK is that, oh, not E. I was thinking of EKSO. Yeah, ELTK. I mean, it's gapping up. Man, it's up from 75 cents all the way to $6. Crazy move. MYO. Yeah, I need some more volume. OPTT. SBGL. Audrey. Yeah, I mean, it's up. It looks like a higher float stock from what it was moving like yesterday. This usually means it has a little bit higher of a float. So we'll see, Yeah, OPTD doesn't have the volume that I really look for. There's also RIOT. It's at 12. If you like the more expensive ones, TIVO. Looks good. EKSO. I mean, technically it's still gapping up some from its 413 close yesterday. And so we'll see what that one does. Oh, it's a reverse split. Most likely won't move that much. I mean, it may. Who knows? I mean, it's pushing up some now. It's at 610 now, so who knows? I'll be right back. I gotta go get myself some orange juice. I feel pretty rough. So I'll be right back, guys. All right, so NURO just had a pretty big drop. It's down to $2.11. We'll see if DMPI can can rebound here a little bit. I'm just gonna set a stop loss at 110. If it drops below 110, I'm getting out of there. I mean, I'm still gonna be happy with that gain, but another frustrating swing trade. But I mean, it's still a profitable swing trade. I'm up like 20% maybe. Let me see. Yeah, I'm up like 18%, maybe 20%, probably closer to 20. But it's still a frustrating trade because at one point I was up 45. So, super frustrating. Go ahead and set that stop loss. I'll just go ahead and set it at 109. Do you think 109 is a loose enough stop for this one? I mean, I could set it at 108. Yeah, I'm going to set it at 108 for that previous resistance point. Because, I mean, I'll still be up 14 cents at 108. And so that should be fine. Appreciate it, Trapleets. Good morning, commentary. Alright, so I've got my stop set for 108 for DMPI on Robinhood. Try to give it a little bit of time. Like I said, my entry is like 94 cents. RIOT's pushing up. Check it out. RIOT pushing up to 1231. We got a minute left, guys. Good luck in the market. Let's all make some money this morning. And EKSO is kind of making a late push. You can look at EKSO here. EKSO is making a late push up to 440s. All right, good luck, guys. Market's starting right now. ELTK maybe. RIOT's push it up, guys. Check out RIOT. RIOT's up to 12.43. Big push. Some indecision on DMPI. Up to 115. Now back right back down to 112. There we go, 114. Let's see if it's a washout long. See if we can make that washout long setup. RIOT washing out big. NEPT. No. Man, DMPI is just undecided. It's just not doing anything. There it goes. Alright, so I'm in DMPI on U stock as well for this little washout long setup it had going on here. The only problem with Robinhood is that it takes forever to go back and cancel your order. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this one on Robinhood now for a little bit of a gain. Alright, so I'm out at about 119 on Robinhood. I try to let it have a little pullback here, but if it drops too much, I'm going to be out of this thing. See if it holds over that previous high. EKSO's running, guys. A little bit, at least up to 453. Get the 1 minute chart off on big drop. Yeah, if it drops below 115, I'm going to get out. I'm just seeing if it's having a little 1 minute pullback here for this push. Yeah, that's my cue to get out. Alright, so 250 loss. But I mean, I made, let's see, I sold at 119, got in at 94. I made $25 even on DMPI this morning, so that's good, I guess. Huge drop on EKSO, and this thing did the exact same thing the other day. Wow, I hope nobody got caught in that. That's a scary drop, guys. Really scary drop. Oh yeah, PTN is another one I was watching. And PTN is running. It's testing that pre-market high right here. AXON. AXON's running. AXON up to 560. ELTK. ELTK's up to 790, guys. Crazy push already. Good call out, whoever called this one out. Man. Huge push. MICT. Ant. No, not really. It's sitting at 99 cents. QRHC. Where you been, Black Monday? Yeah, QRHC, I do like this one. And it's limited liquidity. Why do the stocks that have the best setups always turn out to be limited liquidity on U stock, man? Super frustrating. Oh, ELTK was a circuit breaker halt, so it gapped up. Ah, I see. Yeah, I'm kind of out of it this morning. I probably shouldn't be trading. I don't feel great. AXON's not really following through. But yeah, I mean, even if U stock's a peer-to-peer broker, you know, when a stock has this much volume, I'm sure other people are watching it and trading it on U stock as well. You know, it's all about what their quote-unquote super users decide to use. EPE. VIPS is pushing up. It's at 880. OCLR, that'll wash out long setup. It's up to 718. There it goes. Now it's no longer limited. But it's not a pretty pattern anymore. So there's no point to trade it now. Yeah, you know what I think? I think the super users go against the traders, right? And so whenever it looks like a good long setup, it's going to be quote unquote limited liquidity. But then whenever it looks like a good short setup and he can essentially take the other side of that long trade and make money from the other trader, you know, then he you know, stops labeling it limited liquidity, and when it starts to drop and it looks like a good short setup, that's when he finally, you know, takes the limited liquidity off because he can take the other side of that trade. That's what makes the most sense to me. RVLT. RVLT. Had a nice little 1 minute pullback here. You can see this little bitty micro pullback, but even that pushing up really nice. CCIH. What would really confirm my thesis is that if it pushes up and starts to try that 230 area, it all of a sudden becomes limited liquidity again. We'll see if that happens. CLSN up to 310. CLSN's pushing up, guys. GNCA. NXTD. NXTD maybe. I don't like that drop. We'll see. CCIH. Yeah, CCRH just needs to follow through with some volume. Needs to break this 112 level where you can see that previous resistance was there, so man, that's rough, Andre. That's tough, man. Yeah, you know, EKSO is one of those I'm labeling kind of sketchy. It did the same thing. Like if you look at these last few days, let's see if I could find it. This may have been in the last 10 days. Look at this right here. This is what made me ultimately not trust EKSO that much. This thing opened up, pushed up to 250, dropped all the way to 2 in literally just a few seconds. In a few seconds, this thing dropped 50 cents. You know, and then it pushed right back up. So this is just stopping people out. Just getting people out of the trade. It's obviously getting manipulated some, you know, which makes me not trust it. Not that much volume this morning in the market, honestly. I'm watching RVLT here. Watching RVLT here. It's pushing up to test the high of the day right here at 442. It's at 440 now. It's maintaining okay volume throughout this push. I mean, we'll see, you know. But yeah, RVLT, that's the main one I'm watching is RVLT to see if it can push up. Kind of watching DMPI to see if it reverses here. It's at 111. Alright, so there goes RVLT. I'm in with 30 shares. It's up to 444. There comes some volume, 447. Let's see if it gets over 450. Alright, so I'm in RVLT up to 449. Let's see if it can break 450. Back up to 448 with some volume. We'll see if it follows through here. Had a nice volume spike. DMPI ended up dropping under the high, or under the low of day. So we'll see what DMPI does. Yeah, big drop on RVLT just to fake out. It couldn't get over 450. Let's see if it rebounds. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and get out. Not that much volume this morning in the market, honestly. Not too much movement. Back up to 447. There we go. Let's see if it breaks this time or if it gets rejected again. BW. BW's pushing up. CASI. CASI is pushing up. Yeah, some upwicks forming on RVLT. Not my favorite. CLSN slowly grinded back up. We'll see if it crosses LEDS. MDGS. Ooh, look at MDGS. I do like MDGS. Check that one out. Really nice volume spike. Looks like there's a catalyst or some sort of Okay, so MDGS is halted, guys. Really nice push. Like I said yesterday, I'd be very careful with halted stocks in this market. Usually the pattern is they get halted on the way up, gap up some, fill the entire gap down, and then get halted on the way down. That's what's been happening with most. And so be careful, guys. All right, so CASI up to 327. Yeah, the volume's done on RVLT. I'll give it a second more, but I'm going to get out pretty soon probably. Unless they can hold support where this previous low was right here. Yeah, I'm out of this one. Wait and try to get that little 9-cent gain. Yeah, I'm out of that one. So another 250 loss. I'm only down like $5 on the day, but I'm actually up about 20 with my DMPI trade. And so I was up 25, had two very small losses, and so I'm up about 20 now. I'm going to be very selective with anything else. I don't feel good. My mind's not really that good to trade, I don't think. I'm very groggy, and I've been taking Sudafed and just don't feel great. ELTK starting to push. OPTT. Yeah, OPTT's trying, needs more volume. NXTD. Yeah, NXTD, guys, up to 141. I do like that push on this one. Yeah, I think this is the one I went over, right? I remember I said something like sometimes the ones that gap up the least, like that just have really small gap ups like this, sometimes they're the ones that run the most. Just because they're not as extended as some of these other ones like DMPI, for example. CLSN's breaking over the high of the day. NXTD up to 140s, 146. Gonna test 150, it looks like. NXTD down to 141. Having a little 1 minute pullback maybe here. We'll see. ACRX. Yeah, I mean, this one's not moving at all. Looks like a higher float stock. BIPS. Up to 880. Yeah, we'll see if it could break that previous resistance it had at 880, as well as 885. NXE. NXE kind of pushing up some. REN if you like the more expensive ones. FENG kind of reversing here, testing that 750 level. What was the elk one? I can't remember. The one that had the reverse split. Let me see. I know it was something like with elk in it. ELTK. Almost had elk in it. CLSN testing 317. That resistance, like Fart said, was at 320. It's up to 319 now. Alright, so there it goes. Up to 323 on CLSN. Broke over the pre-market high. It's at 325 now. Continuing to push up. Pushing up really nicely. It's going to need a pullback sometime soon here, but let's see if it bounces off of that pre-market high. When it does pull back, I want it to bounce right off of this. Want it to hold that area as support now that it pushed. When's MDGS going to get resumed? Feels like it's been over 5 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't feel good. Yeah, CLSN pre-market high break. I mean, with pre-market highs, I will say this though, and I'm not saying CLSN isn't going to make it, but when I see a stock break the pre-market high, I usually want it to do it right at the open, you know, like within the first 5 minutes. You know, so this one's breaking the pre-market high, but it's not going to have as much volume and momentum to continue going up. And like I said, I'm not saying it won't continue to push up, but I like pre-market high breaks right at the open, like within the first 5 minutes. That's usually when they have the most momentum to break. Later on in the day, they just don't have the volume that they really need to get over it and continue, at least in my opinion, from what I've experienced. And so I'm not saying it won't. It could continue to push up. Next support is to hold over this at 315, so we'll see if it holds support over there. But I usually like the pre-market high break at the open, like right at the open, like within the first few minutes of the market open. CASI up to 330, getting a really nice volume spike. Yeah, MDGS is still halted. What's going on? So with MDGS, my Thinkorswim says it's supposed to resume at 9:54. So it's 9:58 right now, market time. I wonder what's going on. Is it halted for everybody else? Or is it just my screen? I don't know why it's halted on my screen. It says it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's still halted. I don't know what's going on with it. Let's hope it gets resumed today if you're in it. Alright, so there goes CLSN. It held that previous high of support. Now it's pushing up. Let's see if it follows through here. This one's really choppy though. But let's see if it pushes up. It has a few obvious kind of flag patterns. There goes MDGS. It just resumed higher. Now remember what I said, a lot of times when a stock does this last week, many times it will fill this entire gap and then get halted on the way down. And so I kind of wish I could short just from what halts have been doing lately. I mean, it could push up. Who knows? This one could be the one that doesn't, but lately that's kind of been what's going on. I don't know, it's pushing up kind of strong here. Up to 309, 314, 318 high of day. There it goes. MDGS. Back down to 286. Big long upwick on that one. Yep. This is what I saw. They've been doing it every time. Just filled that entire gap. Let's see if it gets halted on the way down again. To see how right I am. Down to 370, 368. Who knows? I mean, it could push back up, but this has just been what's going on with most of these stocks in the market lately that get halted. Big long upwick and downwick, so it means a little bit of an indecision here. I mean, the upwick's longer than the downwick, so more people are trying to go sell off, but we'll see. Man, I wish I could short. This has been happening every single time a stock gets halted, almost every single time. It's been doing this exact same thing over and over again. It gets halted, gaps up a decent amount, and then just fills that entire gap down. And then a lot of times it gets halted on the way down. I don't know if this one will or not, but that's what's been going on lately in the market. And so I wish I could short because I could take advantage of this huge drop. What's up, Anthony? But yeah, there goes MDGS. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets halted on the way down too. It's been happening over and over and over again lately in the market. You know, halted stocks used to be a good thing. Check out VIPS. It's pushing up, breaking that previous high of the day at about 885. But yeah, halted stocks used to be a good thing. You know, usually if you get halted on the way up, it'll gap up some and you can make a decent amount of money. I mean, these are gapping up some, but they're just scary now. You know, they haven't been following through. Like many times when a stock gets halted, it will get halted, resume, and then continue its climb back up. But lately, these halted stocks, they've been gapping up some, but as soon as they resume, they wash out, fill the entire gap, and then actually go lower and cover some of the upward push, you know, continue to fall down. So we'll see, but I wish I could short in this market. VIPS is at 882. That high of the day is at about 885. CASI is kind of slowly grinding back up here. GRAM. GRAM's kind of waking up. EXXI, guys. Really nice push. It's up to 532. EXXI. All right, so EXXI up to 530. Really big push up to 540, 539. Volume coming in. Some upwicks here. We'll see what it does. I mean, the high pre-market is technically at $6, but I would think the next resistance point is going to be here at 560 and right here at 550 even. ITI kind of slowly grinding up towards the high of the day at 653. If you like more expensive stocks, XON up to 1319. Now we'll see if this one flags here. Alright, so I'm watching EXXI here to see if it flags after this 1 minute pullback. See if it breaks. You can see the 1 minute pullback here. Although this one's a little bit too sideways for my liking, but we'll see if it breaks this 543 previous high during market hours. VHI pushing up. All right, so CASI up to 346. There it goes. It's going to test that 350 level, it looks like. Had a really nice volume spike. Back down to 332. Fake out. Not enough volume to follow through. It just doesn't have enough volume. It's just slow grinding up. I mean, it could keep going, but you can see these mean no volume. Very slow. Let's see what the actual volume is. Yeah. I mean, even that big volume spike was only 50,000 shares. Watching EXII here, though. It has a little bit nicer volume. ONCS, MXC. Yeah, ONCS. I do like that one. Had a nice volume spike here. MXC needs some more volume. Alright, watching for a pullback, a 1 minute pullback on ONCS. You can see it pushed up, had this 1 minute pullback, but still though, it's a little bit too sideways. Like when I see a 1 minute pullback, I want it to be more vertical. This one's, you know, it's consolidating, but I like just one little pullback and then continue to go up. I want it to be a little bit more vertical than this one is, but we'll see. You know, it still works sometimes doing it that way, but it should be in there the next day. Malayalam. It's usually in there the next day. If you do it before 4 p.m. market time, you know, if you deposit money or if you withdraw money, it's usually in there the next day. All right, so EXXI up to 540. $541. $43. There it goes. EXXI. I expect to see a volume spike here and push up for it to test 550. I can't guarantee it will, but it looks like it's having some decent push here. Just broke over the high of day. We need it to follow through. If it doesn't follow through here, I'm not too confident in it, but needs some more volume. It just broke the high of the day on EXXI. The volume's not too bad. Alright, so CASI still slowly grinding up with no volume. I mean, it's pushing up. It doesn't have the most volume, but it's still kind of slowly grinding up. FENG here is kind of reversing. It's at 750 now, trying to reverse here. Alright, so there goes EXXI. 1 minute pullback. Up to 546. Yeah, this is more vertical like I like to usually see it. EXXI up to 549. Want to see the volume come in as it tries to break 550. If the volume doesn't come in, it may not break. We'll see. LEDS. Yeah, it dropped all the way back down to 6. Fake out. A lot of times this is just stopping people out. So there goes EXXI up to 559. Well, it was a good trade idea. I just never decided to get into it. I think I'm probably done for the day just because I'm sick. But EXXI is up to 563. There's that 1 minute pullback setup working well. Like I said, this is a good example of it. Like this 1 minute pullback, it was too sideways. I want to see it more vertical. So like you can see this one's vertical. It has the pullback on the way up and then it pushes up 20 cents. Came all the way back down to 549. We'll see if it holds 550 as support now. That's the key support level, obviously. CLNT reversing. Yep. It's up to just about $10. EXXI dropping all the way back down to 543. BOSC. Yeah, BOSC looks good. 1 minute pullback on that one. Up to 248. 249. 251. This one's pushing up really nice. A lot of volume. Up to 252. Down to 242. 252 again. 255. This one's pushing up nice. BOSC. $265. Great push. A really nice 1 minute pullback here. All the way up to 265. Yeah, you can see the volume had a lot, you know, really with half or whole dollar breaks, they're usually really quick trades because people are going to start taking profits, if that makes sense. So it's like it may break over the half dollar, but once it gets a decent amount over, people that got in at 540, you know, they're going to start covering and taking profits, and it's ultimately going to make the thing drop. That's why a lot of times whenever you see a stock push over like a half or whole dollar area, it drops down really quick because that's usually just from people taking profits. So you want to be with them. You know, you want to take profits along with them. You don't want to bag hold and hope it continues. BOSC, really nice push here. We'll see if it does another 1 minute pullback. Up to 269, 273. BOSC up to 270. But yeah, guys, I'm probably about to shut the stream down. I'm pretty sick. I'm going to take a Tylenol, and hopefully I'll be back for a power hour stream so we can find some more good swing trades to get into. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream down now. Check back at 3:30 for the power hour stream. I may do it. It depends on how I feel. But good luck if you get into anything for the rest of the day, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, everybody do me a favor and click that like button right now. We definitely appreciate the support, and it does help support us, guys. So everybody click that like button right now if you appreciate this content. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button now. Like I said, we appreciate all the love and support, guys. And good luck in the markets for the rest of the day. I'm up about $20 with my DMPI trade from overnight last night, and so I'm going to take my profits and probably be done unless I get into another swing for power hour. So like I said, guys, good luck for the rest of the day, and thanks for watching.